morning Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Another meeting, another deadlock. Still no idea on when general elections will be held in Guyana. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, March 8th. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Dawn Paris. Good evening. President David Granger says the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, is still not able to give him the guidance needed to help him decide on a date for elections. After a 2-hour meeting with GCOM that Granger described as grueling, he dismissed the proposal to have elections before the current voters list expires on April 30th, and that had been one of the demands of opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo, whom Granger met with the day before. The president said that based on information provided during a Friday's meeting, it is clear that the voters list is bloated. We apologize for that technical difficulty. Under the Guyana Constitution, elections must be held within 90 days of the passage of a no-confidence motion against the government. The motion was carried on December 21st, so the deadline is March 19th, which leaves just 13 days. But GCOM says it cannot hold credible elections within that time frame and is suggesting the polls could most likely be held in July. The opposition commissioners on GCOM are against a move by the government-appointed members to conduct new house-to-house registration as a means of cleaning the voters' list, a position which Jagdeo has said is aimed at delaying the poll. Belize Prime Minister Dean Barrow is facing a lawsuit over his alleged use of more than $1 billion of taxpayers' money without parliamentary approval. The action has been filed by opposition leader John Briceño and the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Julius Espat. They're asking the High Court to declare that the government has breached the Constitution, as well as the Finance and Audit Reform Act. They're also seeking a permanent injunction preventing the Prime Minister, who is also Finance Minister, from using any more funds without a green light from the House of Assembly. The lawsuit also names Attorney General Michael Perfect and Finance Secretary Joseph Waite as respondents. According to the claim, the Finance Minister spent $1.3 billion Belize dollars in dozens of general revenue supplementary appropriations. Espat said the opposition took the decision to file the claim because it is adamant the rule of law must be followed. We'll have more after the break.
Don't jump up to this non-stop turn and twist.
What up, it's your boy French Montana.
It's me, Smokey Robinson.
It's your boy Davido.
Hi, I'm Elme.
This is Buju Banton and I'll be performing live with the Shiloh Band in St. Kitts Music Festival.
Don't miss the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival, June 26th to June 30th, 2019, featuring Buju Banton, Smokey Robinson, Popcorn, and Elme. Also, Davido, French Montana, Fimba, Edwin Yearwood and Crossfire, Coco T, Skinny Fabulous, Shal Marshall, Charlie Black, Farmer Nappy, Nadia Batson, Infamous, New Vibes Band, and many, many more. It will be epic. It will be mind-blowing. It will be jaw-dropping. It will be awesome. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other. For more information and to buy tickets, log on to www.stkittsmusicfestival.com.
Welcome back. The Jamaica government has announced billions of dollars in tax cuts. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark on Thursday unveiled the administration's plans to eliminate several taxes and reduce some other obligations, which would see the government foregoing $14 billion in taxes. We get the details from TVJ's Andrea Chisholm.
Last year, there were no new taxes, and this year,
It is now time to give back.
first up, the $60,000 minimum business tax.
Your business is in trouble. It was going good, but you lose 2 contracts. The government still wants the minimum business tax. Mr. Speaker, it is so indiscriminate. It applies whether the company is active or is dormant. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, effective April 1st, we will abolish the minimum business tax.
Businesses making less than $10 million will also get a reprieve. Now they pay GCT if they make $3 million and over. Come April 1, they will pay GCT if their sales exceed $10 million.
This, Mr. Speaker, will mean that approximately 3,500 small businesses that currently file GCT will no longer be required to do so.
Transfer tax on property and financial instruments will also be cut, moving from 5% to 2%. And to transfer the estate of the dead, taxes will only be paid on assets valued more than $10 million, up from $100,000. As for the ad valorem stamp duty on things like registering land or refinancing a mortgage, 4 words: it will be abolished.
In its place, Mr. Speaker, we will have nominal processing fees that do not disincentivize these transactions. These fees will be $5,000 per transaction. So when you hear that interest rates are moving down and yours not moving, and some other institution offers you a better rate, phase the financial institution out. The government will not stand in your way.
Also abolished, the asset tax paid by non-financial institutions.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has reached a provisional agreement on a multi-million-dollar loan for Haiti. The announcement was made Friday at the end of the IMF delegation's 2-week visit to the French-speaking CARICOM nation to discuss support for measures to ease poverty, encourage good governance, raise growth, and stabilize the economy. Head of the delegation, Chris Walker, said the Haitian government and the Central Bank of Haiti had reached an IMF staff-level agreement on a concessional 0% 3-year loan of $229 million. He said social protection has been placed firmly at the center of the accord, and once the agreed measures are successfully implemented, the poorest in Haiti will be among the first to benefit in a tangible way. Walker explained that the program provides money for school feeding, targeted cash transfers, money for social housing, and other social protection measures. The agreement will have to be approved by the IMF's executive board, which is expected to consider Haiti's request in the coming weeks. For the first time in Trinidad and Tobago, a police officer has been charged under the Anti-Gang Act, and another officer is facing a misbehavior in public office charge. CNC3's Mark Basant has the details.
2 police officers, one charged under the Anti-Gang Act, were granted bail of close to $300,000 in total to cover all offences when they appeared before Magistrate Joanne Connor at the Rima Magistrates Court shortly before 3 o'clock this afternoon. The officers were whisked into the court when they arrived. 40-year-old police constable Angelo Sedeno of Jitman Drive, Aruka, was charged with misbehavior in public office, which allegedly occurred sometime between December 31st, 2017 and July 1st, 2018 for trafficking cocaine and ammunition. He was also charged under the Anti-Gang Act with counseling a gang and gang-related activities between May 31st, 2018 and July 1st, 2018. He was granted $200,000 bail to cover both charges. The other police constable, Don Balgobin from Valencia, was not charged under the Anti-Gang Act, but charged for allegedly receiving a sum of money to forego prosecution in a marijuana trafficking case against individuals. He was granted $88,000 bail. Both their matters were adjourned to April 2nd.
The newly elected Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Andrew Foy, says the island's relationship with the United Kingdom needs urgent care and attention. The BVI, like other British overseas territories, is concerned at a recent report by the United Kingdom House of Commons Foreign Affairs Committee calling for all the overseas territories to legitimize same-sex marriage. The committee is also calling on the British government to urgently address concerns in the overseas territories about the issue of citizenship by descent and anomalies in the British Nationality Act.
We value our relations with the UK, and we do hope that Westminster values and understands the special circumstances of small island territories as ours, that they are sensitive to our culture, customs, and values which have been fashioned by history and geography and our faith in God.
The report also suggests that London should initiate a consultation with the elected governments of the overseas territories and work with them to arrive at a plan to ensure there is a pathway for all resident UK and British overseas territory citizens to be able to vote and hold elected office in the territories. Foy is calling for dialogue among equals on this issue and not mandates issued by masters over servants.
Our mandate is to protect and expand the livelihood of the people of the British Virgin Islands. Our mandate is to protect our way of life. For democracy to work anywhere, the people's voice must be heard and must be respected. Earlier this week, I had the honor to have a conversation with Honorable Charlene Cartwright Robinson, the Premier of the Turks and Caicos, about a desire to convene a meeting of overseas territories in the region to discuss our common challenges and a common way forward. I intend to reach out to the leaders in Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, and Montserrat in that regard. To move this territory forward, we shall develop alliances at home and abroad.
This week in Newsline Entertainment, Grenadians to lay out the red carpet for Mr. Killer as he returns home from his International Soca Monarch victory in Trinidad last weekend. And Caribbean artists show off their work at the Caribbean Fine Arts Fair in Barbados.
Power Soca Monarch 2019 Mr. Killer is to receive a grand welcome home to Grenada after winning the competition in Trinidad last weekend with Run With It. The competition was part of Fantastic Friday. He said the win was a dream come true.
It's an overwhelming feeling. There is no words to really express my feeling right now more than my tears to come. You know what I mean? This is, joy beyond joy. You know, there is nothing I could really say to express this feeling. This is literally my dream. I dreamt of this as a child, and here I am today.
Mr. Killer has now set his sights on the Grammys and says he would also like to see soca gain international recognition.
I'm just saying that soca music is not yet a genre that is in on big platforms, and we want to get soca music to that place where it's a genre and the world can really feel the power of soca.
And this year's hit Family has won the Road March title in Trinidad. It beat another pre-carnival favorite, Savannah Grass by Kes the Band, into second place. But after the results were released, Kes fans claimed that Savannah Grass was robbed and launched a petition for a People's Choice Award to be added to the list of Carnival awards. And it was not just Trinidadians in Port of Spain for Carnival. Revelers from across the region journeyed to the Twin Island Republic to play Mass, including members of Cropover Experience in Barbados. And Dominicans were also out in their numbers for the 2 days of Jump Up, costume bands, as well as the newly crowned Carnival Queen, Marisol John, and the 9-time Calypso Monarch, Dice, paraded through the streets of Roseau on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Artists from across the Caribbean are in Barbados for the 9th Annual Caribbean Fine Arts Fair. The March 6 to 10 event highlights the works of Caribbean creatives in visual and performing arts. Mary Claire Williams, Newsline Entertainment.
Ahead in Newsline Sport, Windies lose the second T20 against England. Stay with us.
On the streets, do what I wanted to do. Get away from the abuse. Because no matter what, abuse is abuse, even verbal abuse.
That's true.
And my mom was angry.
But
put it
then
on me.
you became like the protector then
Yes.
of your sisters and brothers.
Yes.
So what did you do to take care of them?
Only thing I could do is do the best I can, raise those kids like they're my own. The abuse from my father made me angry. It made me hate people.
Okay. So Aces, I introduced you earlier and I mentioned about the balancing act between motherhood and your career. Yes. How is that?
I always say get a calendar. That is what's helping me get through because I don't remember everything. You know, when we have babies, we tend to forget everything. So I always say keep a calendar, keep it pushing. Never ever forget your dreams because sometimes we'll do that and we're not satisfied in life.
3 of the 5 finalists in JAMPRO, British Council and Jamaica Film and Television Association Film Development Program Film Lab met with industry players to promote their content at the European Film Market in Berlin, which ended on February 13th. Representatives of the international film and media industries will be doing business at EMF, and the finalists will meet with voice-over-demand platforms.
West Indies suffered a massive defeat by 138 runs in the second T20 International against England at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Not a single batsman had managed to put up a resistance as the English bowling attack tore into the Windies' batting lineup. Medium pacer Chris Jordan picked up 4 wickets for 34 runs, while David Wiley and off-spinner Adil Rashid grabbed 2 wickets each to send the Windies packing on their second lowest total of 45 runs in 11 overs. Earlier, the visitors recovered from an early batting meltdown where they were left reeling on 32 for 4 before Joe Root and Samuel Billings put on an 82-run partnership between them. Left-arm spinner Fabian Allen was the pick of the bowlers with figures of 2 for 29. Root perished on his 5th T20 half-century, leaving England on 114 for 5, but Billings and David Wiley, in a spirited knock, added a further 68 runs to give the visitors a comfortable total of 182 for 8.
Steady the ship. Just play proper cricket shots. Needed an innings. He's been short of runs in T20 cricket, but real class. And he got together with Billings. Wonderful partnership for England. Only the 5th instance in T20 international cricket of a 50-run partnership for both the 5th and 6th wicket in a team innings. Now England really did start to moulder. They were 32 for 4 in the power play, don't forget that. But England just keep going. We'll see from any package that Sam Billings will favour the leg side. .55 for Joe Root. Brilliant throw from out in the deep, and no need for a third umpire. But this is Billings' leg side. Anywhere you ball it, he'll find that leg side. Etmeyer with a misfield, a flat 6. .50, and there's a lot more from Sam Billings. Clever play. Some big overs right at the end. Short to 55, 56 metre boundary straight, and you take advantage. This is a steepler. Etmeyer gets under it, gets everybody out of the way and shells it. 22 came from the last over. Ball by the rookie. McCoy into the attack, just a young lad. Can't think that that's right, that he's bowling the last over. And that's a last delivery. England, it's 182 for 6 from 32 for 4. Impressive.
We go now to Warner Park, where The West Indies are being interviewed after their loss.
We've had more good days than England in this series, so I mean, I guess it's a situation where we just need to regroup. We obviously need to look at a few areas and then obviously correct them coming in last game.
You started the innings with 4 wickets within that power play overs, and many felt you would just go on to dominate the game. It didn't happen. Felt that you could have done anything differently?
Really, I felt the energy in the field was excellent. I think if you look back on this series for me today, it was the best day we had in terms of our fielding performance. Probably last 4 overs, we didn't execute our depth bowling as we would like, but I think on the halfway stage, 180, we would always back ourselves to get it here on this ground against St. Kitts. I felt the wicket was pretty true throughout. We just didn't get a partnership up front, and we lost crucial wickets in the power play, and we were set back from there.
How different it is leading this West Indies side in a T20 international as against a 50-over or even Test cricket? You're fairly new to this rule in this format.
It isn't different, it's the same dynamics for me, just the same players. Obviously, we just got to find ourselves attuned to the T20 game. I felt we've played some decent cricket so far in this series. Odd chances here and there in the field, which we really need to tighten up on. I think the batting has been a little here and there, but it's just a situation for us just to correct a few things going into the last game. Still pride to play for. We still want to keep building it. The whole purpose of keeping this squad together is to build towards the World Cup. So it's just still a few things that we want to correct going into the World Cup, and hopefully last game we can do that.
And to finish on a positive note, positive that you can take from this game going forward, the debut of Obed McCoy?
Yeah, I mean, he came into the squad, we knew what to expect with Obed. He probably didn't get his lines and lengths right coming on in depth overs, which is his specialty. But having said that, I felt the bowlers had a really good day. It was good to see Bishop coming in at short notice and came in and bowled 2, excellent overs for us. We tried to get him back in, for 1 or 2 more overs, and it didn't happen. But I thought all the seamers, bowled reasonably well. And, our feeling, as I said, and the energy was a lot better. Just in the batting department, just didn't come to the party today.
You mentioned Bishu, Ashley Nurse. Will he be available for that last T20 international?
I'm not quite sure. He went for a scan on his finger. His finger popped out in a warm-up. So we'll just see what happens between tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll see if he can play the last game.
Great chatting with you as always. All the best.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jason Holder, the captain of the West Indies team. Now, for the Sandals T20 Series Player of the Match, this award will be presented by Mr. Crisano Daly, and that award goes to Sam Billings for his excellent innings of 87 from 47 deliveries. He will receive his award first, 10 fours, 3 sixes, and all smiles as expected. Sam, your highest T20 international score. You must be pleased that you achieved that and also a win for your team.
Yeah, exactly. It was a nice situation that I could give myself a bit of time and then cashed in towards the end, and a great partnership with Joe. It was just good to spend some time in the middle and really enjoyed it.
It was fantastic to see the manner in which you played. Come, explain to the viewers, how do you manage to hit all those deliveries which are way outside the off-stump through to the leg side and find the gaps as well?
Oh, just a strong bottom hand and close your eyes, I suspect. So, no, it's just it's trying to play the field and put pressure on the bowlers as much as possible. And we see in the game nowadays that hitting 360 really puts that pressure on the bowlers. So that's part of my game, and luckily it came off today.
Yeah, you had a good partnership with Joe Root and Willie as well. You came in when your team was in a spot about it. What were the conversations like at that time?
Yeah, it was a matter of getting a partnership together. If they bowled a couple of tight overs and actually soaking that up and knowing that with small boundaries, if 2 blokes are in going into the last 5, anything was possible. And we knew that 165 plus, we're in with a shot in the game. So we had to get early wickets, which the boys did, luckily. So, yeah, it was a great win.
In other news, Bermudian goalkeeper Nathan Trott has experienced another great moment in his football career after signing a new deal at English Premier League club West Ham United, keeping him at the club until 2022. The 22-year-old says he is thrilled to have been rewarded for the hard work he's put in during his time at the London club. Trott joined West Ham in January 2016 on the recommendation of compatriot and former West Ham striker Clyde Best. He featured on the bench for the senior side 3 times in the Premier League last season and has continued to make regular appearances for the club's under-23 squad. Trott had been out of action since suffering a groin injury last December, but recently returned to training and is keen to get some games under his belt. Guyana's Golden Jaguars are in a must-win situation when they face Belize in the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers on March 23rd. HGP's Jaden Samuels has the details.
To rub shoulders with the big boys on the international stage. With just 16 days left before the whistle, the home side is putting the final touches to their preparation, which, according to assistant coach Charles Lily Pollard, is close to where it needs to be for the 90 minutes that can change local football. The former national player has also made a call to the general public to come out and roar with the Jaguars.
I think the game is a huge game. It's not just another game. It's a game that could put Guyana on the global map to rub shoulders with the big boys. So it's important the fans comes out and support the guys.
The Golden Jaguars is currently part of an 8-week encampment at the National Stadium Providence, which comes to an end shortly with a final warm-up against Suriname on March 16, a match that will determine the Jaguars' readiness for the Gold Cup qualifier. Also speaking at the launch of the countdown, technical director of the Golden Jaguars, Ian Greenwood, mentioned that Belize is a team that will be coming very hard at the Jaguars, but is confident the local side will come out victorious.
And that's the sport. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Ensure that your seatbelts are now securely fastened. All tray tables placed in your right and left position.
It's just that simple, isn't it, Dr. Toast? If these kids know that you care.
Yeah, absolutely. What they said is so on point. The first thing these students need to know is that we care about them. And a lot of times they sense that we don't. And there is a larger system, because they were also right about the fact that if there's things going on at home that's troubling them, then they won't come to school ready.
Don't jump up to this non-stop turn and twist.
What up, it's your boy French Montana.
It's me, Smokey Robinson.
It's your boy Davido.
Hi, I'm Elme.
This is Buju Banton, and I'll be performing live with the Shine Band in St. Kitts Music Festival.
Don't miss the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival, June 26th to June 30th, 2019, featuring Buju Banton, Smokey Robinson, Popcorn, and Elme. Also, Davido, French Montana, Fimba, Edwin Yearwood and Crossfire, Coco T, Skinny Fabulous, Shal Marshall, Charlie Black, Farmer Nappy, Nadia Batson, Infamous, New Vibes Band, and many, many more. It will be epic. It will be mind-blowing. It will be jaw-dropping. It will be awesome. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other. For more information and to buy tickets, log on to www.stkittsmusicfestival.com.
Still no idea of when general elections will be held in Guyana after the president gets not enough guidance from GCOM. And in sports, West Indies crushed by 137 runs after collapsing to their second lowest total in T20 cricket, and that's in the T20 against England. And that's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport round the clock, subscribe to CanadaNews.com. We'll be back here on Monday, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and have yourselves a great weekend.